Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at one of Safari Ltd's newer dinosaur models, the 2019 Camarasaurus. This is a absolutely beautiful figure from Safari. Sauropod dinosaurs are my favorite genus of dinosaurs, so I absolutely love it when a company puts out a good size sauropod figure. This Camarasaurus came out at the very beginning of 2019 in January. You can pick it up for $18.99 from either Safari or Amazon. I'll leave a link to both sites in the description. And for that price and the size of this figure, that is a great deal for the quality you are getting. So before we take a closer look at this figure, here are a couple quick facts about Camarasaurus. It is the most common sauropod in the late Jurassic in North America. There are currently 3 species of Camarasaurus: Camarasaurus lentis, Camarasaurus supremus, and Camarasaurus grandis. The smallest species, Camarasaurus lentis, was about 49 feet long, and the largest species, Camarasaurus supremus, is 75 feet long, with grandis being somewhere in the midpoint of those lengths. Camarasaurus means chambered lizard, and it gets that name from the hollowed out chambers found in its neck vertebrae. So before we pull this figure in a little bit closer, let's start off with some measurements. This figure is just over 14 inches long from the tip of the tail to the snout, and it is about 6 1/4 inches tall at the top of the head. And with those measurements, that would put this roughly in the 140 scale range if you're using the length of Camarasaurus lentis, which is the most common species of Camarasaurus. I do feel this model is a little too small when scaled next to some of the other sauropods in the line, so I would consider this animal to be a subadult. I really love the pose of this Camarasaurus. It's in a nice walking pose with 1 foot off the ground. I mean, these are large animals that weighed multiple tons, so this pose gives it almost a graceful, gentle look. The primary body coloration is a gray color. Gray is used very often on sauropods, kind of to make them more look like, that elephant color, but I like the gray. It works well. You got a nice row of brown stripes starting just at the base of the neck, going all the way down to almost the tip of the tail. They are highlighted with a darker brown. I kind of wish the stripes went up the neck a little bit to make the neck not look as plain. The underside of the body is done in a nice cream color, and as most of the case with the Safari figures, you do get a nice cloaca slit, which is not as messy as how Collecte does it. There's a little bit of a paint smudge, or maybe it's just a little bit of dino diarrhea. The head, let me focus it on his head, is beautifully sculpted. Camarasaurus had a very short, deep snout. You can see the nostrils right here, and most of the head is done in that cream color. You got a nice gold eye with a black pupil, and the mouth is painted. Now, the cool thing about Camarasaurus is their teeth were very well developed for sauropods. So let me just move this guy off to the side for a second, and right here is a Camarasaurus tooth. It is chisel shaped, and it almost looks like a spoon. And these teeth had a very, very deep root. It would be seated in the gums like this. Very secure. And you could actually see some wear along this tooth where the top tooth would scrape against it. So having teeth like this has paleontologists believing that Camarasaurus ate a much tougher vegetation than some of the other sauropods it shared its environment with, like Diplodocus and Apatosaurus. And for comparison, I have a Diplodocus tooth, and you can see how small and weaker this tooth is compared to the Camarasaurus tooth. Huge size difference. So this is probably an evolutionary adaptation, so these large herbivores wouldn't be competing for the same food source. And getting back to the details, take a look at the other side of the head, and just focusing on that, you can see a nicely painted ear, and you've got these nice pattern going down the neck, and the body is done with these nice wrinkles and folds. No scalation on this model, but that's okay when it comes to sauropods. I kind of like this wrinkled look. The feet are correctly shaped. It's almost a horseshoe shape with the feet, with that inner claw facing. And you know, in some your earlier sauropod reconstructions, the feet almost looked like elephants, but as with our current understanding of them, there are no toe claws visible except for that inner thumb claw. The back feet has 3 toes, and the underside of the feet are very well textured, and the tail is nice, thick, and muscular. So this is a fantastic Camarasaurus. You don't see a lot of companies making Camarasaurus figures. Everyone's doing like a Apatosaurus, Diplodocus, Brachiosaurus. So it's nice to see, even though this is a very common sauropod, see it get some nice dinosaur figure love. So with the details out of the way, we're going to go on to my favorite part, comparisons. And oh boy, do I have a lot. I didn't realize how many sauropod models I had until I started digging stuff out of storage. So buckle up, we got a lot of comparisons coming. Alright, first up is the obvious comparison. Here it is with the now retired Carnegie Collection Camarasaurus. And they actually look really, really nice together. They both scale well. As I kick my camera, this one is just a little bit bigger, and it is still a great Camarasaurus model. And now you can, like I said earlier about the toe claws, you know, this is an earlier model and the toes are painted on this one. But other than that, if you can still track down this Camarasaurus, it is a fine addition to any collection. And next up is the old Safari Ltd. Apatosaurus, and this is one of my favorite sauropod figures still. When this came out in, I think, 2011, instantly fell in love with it. Apatosaurus is my favorite dinosaur of all time, and I would really love to see an updated version of Apatosaurus come out later on from Safari. And here is the Collectae Brontosaurus. And let me just move these out of the way for a second. And here is one more Apatosaurus. Here is the Papo Juvenile Apatosaurus. And here is another Safari sauropod. This is their 2017 Diplodocus. They look okay together. This Diplodocus should be a lot bigger to scale with this Camarasaurus, but that's okay because we have the massive retired Carnegie Collection Diplodocus, and those scale really, really well together. This is such a big figure. This figure is about 2 feet long. It's been retired for a while now, so if you're still looking for it, good luck. But I have to say, these look great together. And another Carnegie Collection sauropod. Here it is with the Brachiosaurus, which is another fantastic sauropod figure. I hope Safari comes out with their own Brachiosaurus figure in the future. And here is another Brachiosaurus, but if you want to be all technical, this is the Papo Giraffatitan. I know they call it the Brachiosaurus, but this is obviously based off Giraffatitan. And that is a nice, big, tall figure. I absolutely love big sauropod figures. And here are some smaller sauropod figures. Here it is with the Safari Shunnosaurus and their Nigersaurus. It's a shame that this one is retired. This is such a great sauropod figure. I think it's still relatively easy to find, so don't wait. Definitely pick this one up. That is a great figure of a bizarre sauropod. And two more sauropods, because why not? I took them all out, so I'm going to show them off. Here is their 2018 really big Camarasaurus. And here it is with the incredible Peppa Giraffatitan. And just a few more comparisons. Here it is with some of the new 2019 Safari figures. Here it is with their fantastic Allosaurus, and those look really, really nice together. And another Morrison formation species. Here it is with their 2019 Stegosaurus. And why not? Here's their 2012 Ceratosaurus. And here is a nice group shot of most of the Morrison formation dinosaurs. I do hope Safari keeps making more species from that formation, especially a Camptosaurus. I feel like no company ever pays attention to that, or Nithapod. I would absolutely love for them to make a Camptosaurus in the future, and also, you know, an updated Brachiosaurus and Apatosaurus. So these look absolutely great together. I absolutely love this Camarasaurus. I think it's a fantastic model from, you know, one of their top sculptors, Doug Watson. He does amazing work on these figures for Safari, so I highly recommend that you pick this figure up. Like I said earlier, it's $18.99. That's a really good price for the size of this figure. I'll leave the link in the description to Safari and Amazon, so you can pick wherever you want to order it from. I like ordering from Safari so I can earn Bernie bucks and put those points towards future purchases. And hopefully coming up on the channel, I keep saying it during the last few reviews that I am still waiting for the new PNSOs to come in. And as I'm still waiting, they just released their new Stegosaurus yesterday, which I ordered. So that means I have 4 of the new ones still sitting in customs somewhere. Still waiting for the Ankylosaurus, the Chunkingosaurus, and Yangchuanosaurus 2-pack, and their Giganotosaurus now. So hopefully I will be getting those in sometime this century and be getting reviews out on those. And I also ordered something pretty cool the other day off Amazon. I ordered a box of the Kyoto Capsule Q Museum Collection. And for those of you that don't know what that is, Kyoto makes these really cool miniature dinosaur figures, and they come in a blind bag, and there's multiple series to them. You just don't know what dinosaur you're gonna get till you open the bag. So I ordered a box of 8, so hopefully I'll get the complete set, and they come in pieces, and you put them together, and they're very accurate and detailed for the tiny size that they are. So when that eventually comes in, I'm gonna do a nice unboxing of that, put them together on camera, and we'll take a look over them, because they're a company a lot of people don't know about. So I'm really looking forward for those to come in, and along with the PNSO. And as always, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one.